Is Apple about to kill its most popular laptop chip? If you are waiting for the new M5 MacBook Pro, you need to stop what you are doing and listen closely. Something very strange is happening inside Apple's top-secret code. For years, Apple has followed a strict formula for its processors. But a new leak suggests that the Pro chip we all know and love might actually be gone forever. This isn't just a rumor from a random blog. This data comes directly from Apple's own software engineers. It reveals a massive shift in how Apple builds its computers. This change could save Apple millions of dollars, but it might be bad news for your battery life and your wallet. If you care about your next big purchase, you need to understand what code T6051 really means. The discovery started with a developer named Nicolas Alvarez. He was digging through the latest iOS 26.3 release candidate code. This is the software that tells the hardware how to behave. Deep inside the guts of this code, he found two specific identifiers, T6051 and T6052. To most people, these look like random numbers. But in the world of Apple Silicon, these are the DNA of the next generation. These codes represent the M5 platform, known internally as H17. Specifically, T6051 is linked to the platform ID H17C, and T6052 is linked to H17D. If you look at Apple's history, the letter C has always stood for the Max chip. The letter D has always stood for the Ultra chip. This confirms that the M5 Max and M5 Ultra are officially in development and ready to go. But here is the concerning part. There is something missing. In every previous generation, there was always an S identifier. The S stood for the Pro chip. It was the middle child of the lineup. It was the chip that offered the perfect balance of power and price for most professionals. In the M5 code, the H17S is completely missing. It is AWOL. It is a ghost. Some people think Apple just forgot to write the code. Others think the Pro chip is simply delayed. But Apple is a trillion-dollar company. They do not just forget the kernel identifiers for their highest volume professional laptop just weeks before a launch. This looks like a deliberate move. It suggests that the M5 Pro, as a unique and separate piece of silicon, no longer exists. So, where did it go? The working theory is that Apple is moving to a new manufacturing strategy called 2.5D packaging. In the past, Apple designed a specific blueprint for the Pro chip and a different blueprint for the Max chip. This is very expensive. It requires two separate production lines and two sets of motherboards. Now, it seems Apple wants to simplify everything. Instead of making two different chips, they might just make one giant chip, the M5 Maximum. If the chip comes off the factory line perfectly, they sell it as a Maximum. But if a few GPU cores are broken, or if it runs too hot, they simply bin it. They disable the weak parts, put less RAM on it, and call it an M5 Pro. They then sell it to you for a premium price even though it is technically a rejected Max chip. This is a genius move for Tim Cook's profit margins. It means Apple only has to manage one supply chain. They throw away fewer chips, because even the imperfect ones can be sold as Pro models. But for the user, this is a reason to be skeptical. A native Pro chip is designed to be efficient for its specific size. A binned Max chip is like driving a heavy truck with half the engine turned off. You are still carrying around the extra weight and size of the dead silicon. This could lead to higher power draw when the computer is idle. It could also create thermal issues. We have seen Apple struggle with heat in their thinner laptops recently. If the M5 Pro is just a crippled Max chip, it might run hotter and drain your battery faster than the M4 Pro did. Another shocker in the code is the timing of the M5 Ultra. Usually, the The Ultra chip doesn't show up until much later in the year, often at WWDC in June. But seeing the H17D code right now suggests that the release window is shrinking. Apple might be planning to launch the Mac Studio and the MacBook Pro at the same time. This would be a massive supply drop. It signals that Apple has optimized their assembly lines so well that they can fuse two Mac's chips together into an Ultra almost immediately. This is great for desktop users, but it reinforces the idea that Apple is prioritizing assembly line efficiency over custom-tailored silicon for each dev. ICE. If you are thinking about buying an M4 MacBook Pro today, you should wait. Even if you see a discount, do not buy it yet. Resellers are reporting that their inventory is drying up. They aren't getting new shipments of M4 models. In the tech world, this is the universal signal that a new product is coming. Apple starves the market so that stores aren't stuck with old inventory. Based on the software code and the shipping delays, we are likely looking at a launch window between late February and mid-March. You are only a few weeks away from a major update. Even if you don't want the M5, the price of the M4 will crash the moment the new one is announced. In my opinion, the M5 generation is going to be the most controversial one yet. If Apple is indeed cutting corners by using binned silicon for the Pro tier, we need to see the benchmarks. We need to see if the battery life holds up. It could be a powerful beast, or it could be a hot mess that exists only to save Apple money. I will be watching the thermal logs very closely when this launches. We need to hold Apple accountable to make sure they aren't sacrificing quality for profit. Sit on your hands for now and wait for the real-world tests. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon, so you don't miss our deep dive into the M5 benchmarks.